The U.S. is warning that Russia could use a biological or chemical weapon on Ukrainians as the war continues.
That they not only have the capacity, they have a history of using chemical and biological weapons, and that in this moment we should have our eyes open.
A message from the White House came Wednesday as Russian officials falsely say that Ukraine is plotting to unleash bioweapons with U.S. support.
We are confirming the facts that were unveiled during the special military operation in Ukraine that indicate an emergency cleanup of military biological programs by the Kyiv regime. They were carried out by Kyiv and financed by the United States of America.
The Defense Department partners with Ukraine's Ministry of Health to prevent biological weapons development and infectious disease outbreaks as part of a post-Soviet threat reduction program. U.S. officials ridiculed Moscow's claims as propaganda.
The Russian accusations are absurd. They're laughable. And you know, in the words of my Irish Catholic grandfather, a bunch of malarkey.
Are you worried that Russia will use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine?
There is reason to believe that Russia could target a industrial chemical facility or incidentally strike one as part of their broader campaign of bombardment in Ukraine.
Brett Edwards is an expert on chemical and biological weapons in warfare. He says he's most worried that Russia's military will turn to riot control agents and incapacitants, which can be lethal.
As this conflict progresses, you're going to see more protests, you're going to see more clandestine and guerrilla operations from opposition forces against the Russians, and I am concerned that we may see the use widespread of tear gas and potentially even the more isolated use of incapacitants. And sadly, the history of Russian use of those is pretty brutal.
Another expert tells Newsy an attack would likely involve industrial chemicals like ammonia or chlorine. And before the invasion began, Ukrainian intelligence said gas masks were being handed out to the Russian military and local militants in the separatist territory of Donetsk.
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
Still, experts say conventional weapons will cause much more death and suffering for Ukrainians.